Hello everybody, welcome to another quick Nuzlocke. Normally on this channel I do letter locks, which are Nuzlocks where I can only use Pokemon that start with a certain letter. It's usually very strategic, but none of that nonsense today. I'm going to be playing a Hardcore Nuzlocke of Emerald where every ability is random. That's right, does Wurmple have Intimidate? Does Salamence have freaking Truant? Who knows? Only abilities have been randomized, everything else is vanilla Emerald. Abilities also stay through evolution unless you have a splitting path evolution. I'll be playing with standard Hardcore Nuzlocke rules as well as Dupe's Claws, which means I can't catch anything that I already have. This is going to be a bit more casual than my other runs. Sometimes it's good to have less calculation and more chaos. Also, I may not know what abilities my opponent's Pokemon have, so calculation kinda gets thrown out the window. Alright, let's jump in. I am a girl, I am quick, and I'm new in town. I asked my subscribers to pick a Gen 3 starter, and of course, you all picked Mudkip. Also subscribe if you want to be included in stuff like this. Okay, thank you. I select Mudkip as my starter, and immediately check his ability. And it's Chlorophyll, which raises his speed in sun. On the surface, it's stupid to think that this water lizard would love the sun, but it might be okay. In theory, an opponent could use Sunny Day to protect against Mudkip, but that's probably giving the Gen 3 AI too much credit. So I name him Sunkissed. I defeat my rival and grab my first two encounters. A Zigzagoon with Pressure, who I name Dr. Pepper, and a Lotad with battle armor that's so good. I name her Ludicolo. I get through Petalburg City and onto my next two encounters. A Poochyena, who also has Pressure, which is unhelpful this early. I name him Barks. I also catch a Wurmple, who I name Red Bull. Wurmple's ability actually doesn't matter because it has a split path evolution, so the ability will change in 2 levels when it evolves. I'm also starting to learn some of the intricacies of this randomization, like that Ninkadas start sandstorms. Most Pokemon species will have consistent abilities, so it's important to keep them in mind. Now I'm through Rustboro and I can get 2 more encounters. I rappel through Route 116 so that I can get to Rutsurf Tunnel and get my guaranteed Whismur encounter. This makes Whismur a duplicate on Route 116, so I can catch something else. Whismurs, I guess, hover above the ground because they have the Levitate ability. Any ability that gives an immunity is awesome. And now this Whismur can't be hit by ghost or ground attacks. I name her Root Beer Float. Now I can get my Route 116 encounter, which is Abra. Great Pokemon, but I have 1 chance to catch it. Luckily, you do get a Great Ball in Petalburg Woods, so I throw that bad boy out there with a hope and a prayer, and it works. Abra has Color Change, which is Kecleon's ability. There is so much that could happen with this, it's gonna be so interesting to see. I name Abra Fanta. Red Bull evolves into a Silcoon and gets the ability Suction Cups. A Beautifly with little octopus tentacles is kind of horrifying to me, but we press on. Against Roxanne, none of my abilities can really be that helpful, except for maybe Lombre's battle armor. So I have Sunkissed use Water Gun until both of Roxanne's Pokemon are knocked out. It works great, but Sunkissed actually grows 2 levels during the battle. So when he evolves to Marshtomp, he actually misses learning Mudshot at level 16, which is actually kind of a big deal. I play the worst accidental minigame ever created to take the boat to Dewford Town, where Mr. Briny stops the whole boat just so I can take a phone call. How kind. Here, I catch a Tentacool that can't be poisoned, which is also called not having an ability at all. I name him Sting, rappel through the first floor of Granite Cave for better encounters, and catch a Makahita with Shed Skin. I name him Fruit Punch. Fanta finally levels up enough to evolve into Kadabra, which means it finally learns a move that isn't Teleport. Kadabra is going to be my ace against Brawly, and I'm so excited to see how its color change ability works. Fanta knocks out Machop in 1 hit. Okay, that's fine. I can't quite knock out Meditite, but it just uses Bulk Up. Come on, boo! Brawly uses a Super Potion to heal up, and I kill Meditite with a crit. Makahita, I also knock out with 1 hit. Come on, Brawly, you stupid idiot. In Slateport City, I can get my guaranteed Magikarp encounter. Gyarados is a crazy good Pokemon, and its Intimidate ability makes it even better. So I'm excited to see what ability this Gyarados has to make it a little bit worse. No, absolutely not. The world cannot handle something with so much power. Time to fight some of the Team Aqua trainers. Fanta is no good against the Dark-type Carvanha, so I'll switch out, and No. Vanta only knows confusion, so he's totally stuck here. Carvanas have Arena Trap. Drill it into my brain. Through Slateport, and I get another encounter, which is a Gulpin, who I name Big Gulp. Big Gulp has Magnet Pull as an ability, which isn't super helpful in battle, but is really good in the overworld. This ability increases the odds that my encounter will be a steel Pokemon, which are notoriously great. Brendan is a chump who I take out with no problem, and it's on to Mauville. I catch an Illumise with Pickup, who I name 7-Up, and train my team for Watson. Sunkist doesn't have Mudshot, so I have to slap him around instead. This 2-shots the Voltorb, 2-shots the Electrike, 2-shots the Magneton, but doesn't quite 2-shot Manectric. So, Dr. Pepper comes in to bring 23 flavors of pain, and gets us our 3rd badge. Past Mauville, I catch a Numel, who I name Canada Dry. Turns out that nickname is even more appropriate than I thought, because Numel has Water Absorb as an ability. If you eliminate Numel's double weakness to water, the only thing it's weak to is ground. This ability makes Numel completely broken. So it joins Gyarados in the box of unfair savages that will never see the light of day. You're welcome, humanity. Next, I catch a Coughing, who I name Sierra Mist. He also has Water Absorb, but that seems way more fair than a Numel having it. I also catch a Slugma, who has Marvel Scale. I name her Mug Cargo. There's actually a ton of encounters before Flannery, so I catch a Nuzleaf with Lightning Rod, who I name Birch Beer, a Zubat with Pressure, again, who I name Yoo-Hoo-Bat, a Spoink with the great ability Compound Eyes, who I name Bacon Soda, and the Why Not Egg, who I name Powerade. Synchronize can be a cool ability because you can manipulate the natures of your encounters, but this one has a neutral nature. Sometimes that can be okay, but this isn't a serious enough run for me to plan around that. Training for Flannery, I lose Root Beer Float to a Solrock with Arena Trap. Another important ability to remember. It's finally time to take on Flannery, and here's the team. Numel is up first, and remember that they have Water Absorb. Yoo-Hoo-Bat hits a wing attack, Numel misses a takedown, and Flannery keeps healing up until Yoo-Hoo-Bat takes Numel out. Against Slugma, I switch out Yoo-Hoo-Bat and bring Sunkist in. Slugma uses Sunny Day, which activates Sunkist's Chlorophyll. Sunkist was faster than Slugma before the sun, but now he's way faster. Because of the sun, Water Gun doesn't even do half damage, and now it will do even less with Light Screen. But that's perfect, because Dig is enough to kill Slugma. Against Water Absorb Camerupt, ground moves are the only ones that are super effective, but Dig leaves Camerupt on 1 HP. This time, I use a Tackle first, before knocking Camerupt out with Dig. Finally, Flannery sends out her ace, Torkoal. Dig is looking like a 2-hit KO, but Sunkist doesn't hit the range on his second attack. And now, Sunkist is liking that literal hottie with a body. Sunkist attacks through attraction though, and gets us our 4th badge. I can get 2 more encounters before Norman, which are a Cacnea with Vital Spirit, who I name Coketurn, and a Trapinch with Serene Grace, who I name Fagon. Next up is Norman, who's gonna be an issue because his Slaking no longer has Truant. It's going to attack every turn now. But I think I came up with a decent solution. First out is Spinda. I don't want to use Fake Out in case Spinda uses Encore. Spinda uses Teeter Dance, which confuses me, but I was adequately prepared. Vital Throw has negative priority, but it knocks Spinda out. Next is Vigoroth, who goes for a Facade, which does almost nothing, and Fruit Punch retaliates to 1-hit KO. Next is Lanoon, who actually helps me out by going for Belly Drum, and allows me to kill it very easily. Finally, it's Slaking, and time to see if my plan will work. This involves switching into Powerade the Wobbuffet. Slaking used Counter when Powerade switched in, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. Slaking can never one-shot me, so in theory, I'll either hit him back for double damage, or I'll completely stall as we try to counter each other, the latter of which seems to be happening. Eventually, Slaking does go for a Facade, and I hit back for double damage. I'm dead to a crit Facade now, but I have no choice but to keep countering. Slaking finally uses Facade again, it doesn't crit, and I'm able to knock it out. Nice try, Dad. Time for more encounters, including this Swablu with Vital Spirit, who I name Big Blue, a Wingull with Guts, who I name Squirt. That's a great ability on a Pokemon who can't utilize it at all. Using Big Gulp's Magnet Pull, I successfully manipulated a Magnemite encounter. I named it Surge, and it has Marvel Scale as an ability. A A Manectric with Shield Dust, that's a great ability. I name him Mountain Dew Voltage. An Oddish with Lightning Rod, who I name Ginger Ale. And finally, a Marill with Sturdy, who I name Baja Blast. I am so not used to catching this many Pokemon. This is ridiculous. I grabbed Ice Beam and headed to take on Winona. First out is Swablu, who MDV can take out with one Spark. Next out is non-shiny Altaria, so time for me to switch into my Ice Beam user. Only to remember, I did grab Ice Beam, but I didn't teach it to anybody. So I decided to stay in with MDV, but Spark can't do much to Altaria. Altaria is trying to set up with Dragon Dances, but that's not going to work for me, so I use Roar. Pelipper is brought out, which is lovely. After it stalls for one turn and tries to stall again, I'm able to take it out with one Spark. Winona brings Altaria out again. She starts her setup over while I hit with one Spark. I think she'll continue her setup, but she actually goes for Earthquake, which I almost die to. So it's time to switch. I'm hoping her random move selection will be Earthquake, but it is not. I try to get a Supersonic in, but of course, I miss, and Altaria hits me with an Aerial Ace. I try to stay in one more turn, but Altaria knocks me out. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. I send out Dr. Pepper, who takes an Earthquake, and then knocks Altaria out with one Headbutt. Next is Tropius, who takes a crit Headbutt from Dr. Pepper. One more Headbutt knocks it out. Last is Skarmory. I'd like to send in an electric Pokemon, but MDV is too low health, so I send out Surge. Surge takes a Sand Attack, but can't quite kill with Spark. Expecting a heal from Winona, I use Sonic Boom to knock a little bit of damage down, and then finish the fight with one more Spark. Reminder to check your team's movesets before important fights. Next, I caught a Shuppet with Swift Swim, who I named Sprite, a Wailmer with Shadow Tag, who I named Crush, a Geodude with Shell Armor, who I named Rockstar, and a Duskull with Pure Power, who I named Sprite Zero. Because Ghost moves are physical in Gen 3, Pure Power is an excellent ability for Duskull. The next important event is the fight against Maxie. Something important to note about this fight is that Maxie's Pokemon are way higher leveled than the fights preceding it. I almost went into this fight with massively underleveled Pokemon. Maxie sends out Mightyena first. I start with a Fake Out because why not? I then let Mightyena go first and hope for the Swagger, which it does. I shake off the confusion with the Berry and knock out Mightyena with a Vital Throw. Next is Crobat, so I send in Mountain Dew Voltage. I shake off the confusion there as well. I outspeed and knock out Crobat with one Spark. Finally, we have Camerupt, the scariest Pokemon in this version of Emerald because of its Water Absorb. I believe it sees a kill with Earthquake, so I switch into Yuhubat. I then switch into Sunkist, as Camerupt just goes for Amnesia. Surf and Muddy Water aren't options here. And although Dig is super effective, it's really risky. Camerupt knows Earthquake, obviously, and if it uses Earthquake while I'm underground, it will do huge damage to me. The best play here is to go for Takedown. Takedown should be a 2-hit KO, but Maxie uses a Super Potion. We continue this healing and takedown dance for a little bit, until Maxie gives up and I take her down, permanently. Then I catch an Electrode with Sandvale, who I name Elacroix. In no way am I running out of name ideas at this point. And I catch a Sharpedo with Arena Trap, who I name Gatorade. And then I take on Matt, who's a complete joke of a boss after Maxie. Time for Tate and Liza, which should be a very interesting fight. I lead with my Dark Pokemon so I can avoid all Psychic moves. First, I use Surf, and find out that Claydol has Water Absorb. Very cool. Xatu uses Calm Mind, and Claydol uses Earthquake to get my health down a little bit. But I'm able to get Claydol below half health. Next turn, I switch out Gatorade for Barks, and prevent a confusion with my Berry. Claydol uses Earthquake again, but I'm able to use Coke Turn to knock out Claydol with one Feint Attack. Solrock comes out next, and I need to switch out Coke Turn to keep her safe. Let's switch in Crush.
Another important ability to remember.
So, this is bad. Xatu uses Sunny Day, Barks uses Bite, and Coke Turn goes bye-bye. I bring in Crush as Barks kills Xatu. Lunatone comes in, both my Pokemon are about to die, and Surf does nothing. Sunny Day is still up. What am I doing? Solrock is almost dead, but Crush gets crushed. I bring in Sunkist, and Barks goes down too. Assuming a Solar Beam is coming for Sunkist, I use Dig. And also, these guys don't have Levitate anymore. Sprite Zero knocks out Solrock. And on the next turn, Sunkist knocks out Lunatone. Sloppy fight. Next up is the double battle with Steven, where you have to take on not only one buffed Camerupt, but 2 buffed Camerupts. And of course, Steven's Metang has Truant. Luckily, Sprite Zero with Pure Power is really strong and handles the battle pretty easily. Before the 8th gym, I caught my own clay doll with Water Absorb, who I name Mr. Pibb, and watch Rayquaza scold her children. Time for Juan and his water Pokemon. Love Disc is out first, and MDV can take it out with 1 Spark. Juan sends out Whiscash, and I'm expecting an Earthquake, so I switch into the flying type Altaria. Then I switch to Ginger Ale and find out Whiscash has Truant as well. Alright, Whiscash goes for Rain Dance, and I'm able to knock it out with 1 Petal Dance. I'm still Petal Dancing, but that's okay, because I take Celio out in 1 hit as well. This battle's going so well. Next out is the infamous Kingdra, and Ginger Ale just can't stop dancing. He does finally stop though. Expecting an Ice Beam, I switch to Surge, and then bait the Water move for a free refill to Mr. Pibb. Ice Beam does significant damage, but Ancient Power doesn't, and no boost. So I loop back to Surge, and back to Mr. Pibb, but Kingdra just goes for Rest. The Rest totally throws me off here because I stay in for some reason and get killed by Ice Beam. I should have just cycled again. My plan is kinda shot here, so I figure my strongest Pokemon can take this one. MDV launches a Thunder and... I'm getting desperate here, but Ginger Ale is able to put Kingdra to sleep on 1 HP. Then I switch into Big Blue to do some Dragon moves. Of course, Kingdra wakes up the first turn it can, but Dragon Breath is looking like a 2-hit KO. Big Blue can survive 1 non-crit Ice Beam, but her missing her Dragon Breath would cause... I lost, and it sucks. All of these wonderful Pokemon, gone. Whether it's flat out careless mistakes or opponent abilities that I couldn't possibly predict, the run is over and I'm heartbroken. But I will not let this become a pity party. You're going to lose Nuzlocks. It's just gonna happen. In every loss, there's a learning opportunity. What did I do wrong? What could I do better next time? And there's always fun, crazy, wild moments that you'll never forget. An ancient poet once said, "It's not always rainbows and butterflies, it's compromise that moves us along." It may not be pretty, and you may not win, but at the end of the day, you're playing a game that you love. And it may not be right away, but at some point, you'll be able to pick yourself up and try again.